Chapter 1091 begins from the perspective of the Navy's ships. We hear a Marine yell, "Admiral Kizaru has begun his incursion," as they brace themselves for a formidable enemy. We see a line of Pacifistas approach with their palms open, revealing the nozzles of their laser guns. The Marines fire their cannons, hoping but failing to preempt the Pacifistas' lasers, which tear through their ships. As the dust settles, they see that their ships are still sinking and cry out, "It's the weaponized sea beasts," referring to Vegapunk's deadly invention. A multi-chinned Vice Admiral unleashes a steam knuckle attack, using his mechanical arm to strike down one of the sea beast weapons. Elsewhere on the battlefield, Vice Admiral Dahl uses a powerful kick to a pacifist's face. Their subordinates watch in awe of their fighting power. The scene shifts underground to the Labostratum. We see Usopp watching the battle from a monitor and commenting that the Marines and robo-beasts are fighting intensely. Dr. Vegapunk thinks of the Pacifista control hierarchy with the 5 elders at the top, followed by Vegapunk, that is, Stella and the satellites, then Sentomaru with 50 Pacifista units under his command, and finally, authority chip holders at the bottom. The Stella refers to Sentomaru's squadron and is incredulous at the Marines' rushed attack when the island's defenses are practically impenetrable. Usopp grabs the monitor closer with a stunned expression and asks, "So they sent that guy ahead to take out the deterrent?" Nami and Brook gather at the screen in shock. Nami realizes Stussy was right upon seeing Kizaru. The Marines indeed sent in an admiral. Brook somberly suggests that dark memories have come back to haunt them. Usopp cries out that they've already begun to battle, and Dr. Vegapunk crumples in guilt, apologizing to Sentomaru for putting him in such a cruel position and understanding if he flees. We return to the battlefield where Kizaru kicks Sentomaru, who blocks with his arms but is propelled back by the force of the attack. Kizaru affectionately advises Sentomaru to surrender and leaps into the air, unleashing his Yasakani no Magatama attack, showering him with laser bullets. Sentomaru seems to retreat as he runs back yelling, "Sorry, Unk, I gave my word to Straw Hat Luffy." We see that he is running to retrieve his axe. Still breathing heavily, he screams and lunges at Kizaru. The latter calmly asks, "And since when have you been one to get chummy with pirates?" As Sentomaru attacks, he replies that he owes his life to Stella and will join any side that helps him escape. As their eyes meet, Kizaru has a flashback to their first encounter. We see a young Sentomaru standing upon the bodies of 3 enormous bears. A confused Kizaru and Vegapunk say that they were the ones who were meant to deal with the bear attacks, and can't understand how a child managed it first. Sentomaru complains about the villagers saying he doesn't even want to return. Kizaru muses, "They kicked you out, huh?" The determined child says he's very tough, and all he needs is a well-paying job. Dr. Vegapunk asks the boy what he intends to buy with the money. Sentomaru cries, "Onigiri!" making Kizaru burst out laughing. The present-day Kizaru coos. "You were so cute back then." His memory continues with Vegapunk hiring Sentomaru as a bodyguard. The small boy calls Kizaru Unk and asks that he teach him how to protect Grandpa Punk. Kizaru objects that he's still young, and in the present day, sighs saying, "I taught you the best I could, Sentomaru-kun." At this moment, Sentomaru strikes him with the Ashigara palm technique. Kizaru, unperturbed, declares, "My guard isn't anything to sneeze at either, you know." He strikes Sentomaru so forcefully that a mushroom cloud forms, and Sentomaru is sent hurtling into the air. He hits the ground covered with blood. Kizaru retrieves his authority chip, telling the Pacifistas that he has fallen and there's been a change of plans. He commands them to protect the Marines and fight the sea beast weapons instead. A Marine confirms their objective has changed as the Pacifistas turn their lasers on the sea beasts. We abruptly shift to Saturn, who upon hearing about recent developments grumbles, "What a waste. But I suppose if I had to choose, the Pacifista are the better assets to secure." He orders his staff to keep him updated on casualties. Meanwhile, back on Egghead, Usopp screams, "Sentomaru's finished!" Dr. Vegapunk sobs, but quickly collects himself saying, "We can't afford to dilly-dally, let's lift the defense system." Vegapunk Atlas agrees, saying they can't let the time he bought them go to waste. York cackles, saying they won't crack it, reminding them that she too is a Vegapunk. The Stella urges everyone to focus, explaining that since Kizaru is made of light, He can pass through the laser barrier at any moment. Usopp panics at the idea of Kizaru entering whenever he wants, saying he almost wiped us out back in the day. We see Kizaru watching from the distance before flying into the sky. Meanwhile, outside the lab, Vegaforce Eero 1 carries Sunny as the Straw Hats escape. They're stopped by the sound of the siren alerting them that the barrier was crossed. Above, Kizaru is nostalgic at the sight of the Straw Hat pirates. He identifies the government's assets, the power station, Punk Records, and York. He wishes he could add old friends to this list, but ruthlessly concludes, Dr. Vegapunk's elimination is our top priority. Inside the lab, Usopp hysterically announces that Kizaru has breached the barrier. They worry about Luffy and the others still en route. Stella exclaims, "It'd be pointless to lift the barrier if the ship isn't in position." Stussy turns and sees Lucci's bird. Lucci suddenly lunges at Stella, but Stussy uses herself as a human shield. She takes all the damage, coughing up blood and collapsing. Sanji quickly grabs Nami's gun and traps Kaku inside a bubble ball, commenting that it seems Lucci abandoned him. Zoro blocks Lucci with his swords, calling him a coward. Lucci confidently replies, "They'll all be killed now that he's working with Kizaru." Zoro growls that he shouldn't underestimate them, and as he attacks, they both break through a wall, flying out of the lab. Meanwhile, below, Kizaru appears behind Vegaforce 01, pleased to have spotted the ship. We hear Usopp urging Luffy to hurry and warning that an admiral was sent. Luffy doesn't answer, and Kizaru looks up confused. Luffy greets him and launches a kick at Kizaru's face. The latter muses, "I see that you're as cheeky as ever." The chapter ends with Luffy declaring, "We're 100 times stronger than we were 2 years ago, Kizaru."